What do a bikini-clad alien princess, a gender-swapping martial artist, and a time-traveling priestess have in common? They all came from the mind of Rumiko Takahashi, the princess of manga, and one of the most successful comic creators in history. With over 230 million copies sold worldwide, she shattered glass ceilings in a male-dominated industry, created billion-dollar franchises like Inuyasha and Ranma Half, and provided that weekly manga series could run for decades without losing their magic. I'm going to tell you exactly how she did it. This is the Rumiko Takahashi Creative Mastermind Playbook. Born in Niigata, Japan, Takahashi didn't grow up as a manga obsessive. Sure, she doodled in the margins of her schoolwork. Who didn't do that? But manga wasn't her passion yet. What changed everything? In high school, she co-founded a manga club. They organized small exhibitions, traded fan-made works, and discussed manga trends. This collaborative creative process lit a fire in Takahashi. By her final year of high school, she had a clear ambition: become a professional manga artist. But she needed training. So, she enrolled in a prestigious manga school founded by Kazuo Koike, the legendary creator of Lone Wolf and Cub and Crying Freeman. Under Koike's mentorship, Takahashi learned the lesson that would define her entire career: focus on creating well-thought-out, interesting characters. Then after 3 years of publishing doujinshi, or self-published manga, everything changed. In 1978, she hit manga gold when she launched her first serialized story in Weekly Shōnen Sunday, Urusei Yatsura. Then in 1980, she did something remarkable as a manga creator. While still writing Urusei Yatsura, she launched a second major series called Maison Ikkoku. Think about that for a moment. 2 simultaneous hit manga series in different demographics. Urusei Yatsura selling 28 million copies, Maison Ikkoku selling 20 million copies, both running weekly from 1980 to 1987. This is almost unheard of in the manga industry. In 1987, Takahashi ended both Urusei Yatsura and Maison Ikkoku and immediately launched her third major series, Ranma Half. The series ran for 9 years, 38 volumes, 55 million copies, and became one of the first manga to achieve massive popularity in the United States. But Takahashi, she wasn't done yet. In 1996, she launched Inuyasha, her most internationally successful work. Running for 13 years and 56 volumes, the anime adaptation became a global phenomenon, introducing millions of Western fans to anime in the early 2000s. The franchise expanded into movies, video games, merchandise, and even spawned a sequel series in 2020. Over her 40-plus years of nearly non-stop weekly manga, she was never pigeonholed into any one genre. She went from blending horror and Japanese folklore in Mermaid Saga, to Rinne's supernatural comedy, to the time travel fantasy of Mao. But she said it's less about deliberate strategy and more about following her creative instincts and avoiding repetition, both within individual series and across her career. So how does Rumiko Takahashi actually create? What's her process for crafting stories that have sold well over 200 million copies? Well, first, Takahashi's creative process is deceptively simple. She doesn't sit down with elaborate outlines or detailed plot diagrams. Instead, she noodles around in her sketchbook. Then she shows her ideas to her editor. And here's the secret: she picks whatever makes her editor laugh the most. That's it. That's the filter. If it makes people laugh, if it sparks joy or intrigue, she pursues it. Her creative decisions are organic and relaxed, driven by gut instinct rather than overthinking. What do you think her biggest creative influence is? Not a manga artist, but novelist Yasutaka Tsutsui, who wrote surrealist stories like The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Paprika, also anime. Tsutsuy's work is filled with dark humor, psychological thrills, and creative imagination. Takahashi has said she reads widely across genres, which helps her cultivate unique stories and avoid creative ruts. Second, Takahashi is a master of character-driven storytelling. Every single one of her series is built on complex webs of relationships. Her characters have different motivations and goals that naturally put them at odds with each other. And from this conflict arises both dramatic tension and comedy. She broke stereotypes in shonen manga by creating female characters who weren't just accessories to the male hero. Characters like Lum, Akane, Kagome, and Sango are memorable because they're fully realized people with their own agency and goals. Finally, Takahashi's work ethic is absolutely insane. When she's working on a new chapter, she pulls 2 all-nighters in a row. She starts drawing around 9 p.m., works through the entire night, and doesn't stop until 9 a.m. the next day. Then she sleeps for a few hours, wakes up at noon, does some housework, and starts the cycle again. Over the decades, Takahashi has shared insights about creativity and the manga industry. Here are the key lessons from her career. Lesson 1. Bet on yourself even when it's scary. In 1978, Takahashi faced a choice: pursue the safe path of corporate employment or risk everything on manga. Her parents advised caution. Japanese companies preferred fresh grads, so if she failed at manga, she'd struggle to find work. But she chose the riskier path, and it changed everything. The lesson here is about conviction over safety. If you believe in your creative vision, you have to commit to it, even when the path is uncertain. Takahashi took a leap of faith, and it made her one of the most successful artists in history. Lesson 2. Characters are everything. Kazuo Koike's teaching, focus on interesting, well-developed characters, became the foundation of Takahashi's entire philosophy. She doesn't write villains. She writes people with different goals. Her characters feel real because they have contradictions, flaws, and depth. These contradictions make them human. For creators, the lesson is clear. Invest in your characters. Plot twists come and go, but readers remember characters forever. Lesson 3. Romance needs tension. Takahashi's refusal to let her characters confess their feelings too early is a masterclass in delayed gratification. She knows that the journey is more interesting than the destination. The misunderstandings, the jealousy, the moments of almost confession, that's what keeps readers hooked. But she also knows that actions speak louder than words. Her characters show their love through sacrifice, protection, and small gestures long before they ever say, "I love you." This reflects real-world romance where feelings develop gradually and are expressed through behavior. For storytellers, this is a reminder. Don't rush your emotional beats. Let relationships breathe. Let them evolve. Let readers sit in the tension. Lesson 4. Consistency beats inspiration. Takahashi has maintained a weekly schedule for over 40 years. She doesn't wait for inspiration to strike. She sits down, pulls all-nighters, and delivers her pages on time every single week. This is the unglamorous truth of creative success. Discipline matters more than talent. Takahashi's work ethic is the reason she's created thousands of chapters across multiple series. Inspiration is fickle. Consistency is reliable. Lesson 5. Break the rules of your genre. Takahashi became the first woman to achieve major success in Shōnen manga, a genre aimed at teenage boys. She did this by creating strong female characters, complex romances, and blending comedy with action in ways that were fresh and unexpected. She didn't try to write like a man or mimic existing shonen tropes. She brought her own perspective and innovations to the genre, and readers responded. The lesson: don't just follow genre conventions, push against them. If you're a creator watching this, here are 3 actionable tips from Takahashi's playbook that you can use starting today. Test your ideas by making people laugh. Takahashi doesn't overthink. She sketches ideas, shows them to her editor, and picks whatever gets the most laughter. She trusts her instincts and the reactions of others. Your action step: share your ideas with trusted friends or collaborators. Don't ask, "Is this good?" Ask, "What makes you laugh? What sparks joy?" Follow the energy. Tip number 2, build a creative environment that works for you. Takahashi has historically preferred to work mainly with women assistants in her studio because it creates that atmosphere she wants. She pulls all-nighters because that's when she's most productive. She's been doing this for 40 years because it works for her. Your action step: design your creative environment intentionally. What kind of space helps you focus? Then protect that environment like it's sacred. Don't let anyone tell you there's only one right way to create. Tip 3, let characters drive the plot, not the other way around. Her stories work because her characters feel real, flawed, and deeply human. Your action step: when planning your next story, spend twice as much time on character development as you do on plot. Ask, what do they want? What are they afraid of? What contradictions make them interesting? Let the characters' goals and conflicts generate the plot naturally. Even now in her 60s, Takahashi is still launching new manga series. She's still meeting weekly deadlines. She's still creating characters that make people laugh, cry, and fall in love. She's one of the wealthiest self-made women in Japan, specifically because of her favorable contracts that allow her to retain a significant portion of the royalties and rights to her creations. Same all-nighters, same creative process, same devotion. The princess of manga creates what makes people laugh and trusts her characters to tell their own stories. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like and subscribe button and tell me in the comments what your favorite Rumiko Takahashi series is. And I'll see you in the next video.